There was a driver there. I overheard one of the drivers went up to the public phone. He was a red ball truck line driver. Went up to the telephone. He called the police. Said, y'all better get out to the motel room number 6. Said, there's a whore out there bleeding to death. Policeman said, just a minute. Said, what's she bleeding to death from? Said, she bleeding to death from the claps. Policeman said, just a minute. Said, you don't bleed to death from the claps. This red ball driver said, when you gives it to me, you does. Yeah. Heard about the driver for the Dixie truck line. He lived right next door to a fellow named George. And the driver himself was a hairlip with Dixie truck line. And one day George came home and the Dixie truck line driver said, hey, George, we've been friends a long time, isn't that right? George said, yes, sir, that's right. He said, well, George, said, there's something I've been wanting to talk to you about. He said, you got the prettiest wife I ever saw. George said, well, thank you, I appreciate that. He said, George, your wife got the prettiest tits I ever seen on a broad. George said, well, that's very kind of it. He said, and George, you know how these things get started once you start talking about. He said, I'd give $50 to suck one of your wife's tits just one time. George got to thinking. He is 2 weeks behind on his car payment, and his rent is past due. And he went in and asked his wife, said, what do you think? She said, well, we do need the money, and I don't think there'd be anything wrong with it. So she strips down to the waist, goes in, then lays down on the bed, and George goes out and waves in this truck driver, and he said, well, go ahead. You wanted to suck one of them. There they are. And the guy gets down on the bed, and he starts nuzzling and licking and kissing, and George is standing there waiting. 15 seconds goes by. Finally 5 minutes, now 10 minutes. And George is standing there patting his foot, and the guys keep nuzzling and licking and kissing. And George said, go ahead, suck on it. And the red ball driver said, hey, damn it, I ain't got $50.